Ministry of the Interior, you've probably seen this little beauty called Kolky, but I'm not sure if you know why they're still used. Because at the Ministry of the Interior, you cannot pay by card, you cannot pay by cash, but you still need to use these like old school stamps. I will explain why I think they are still used and they are not replaced by like a normal payment methods. But let me first start with these, what it is for those of you who have not seen those yet, you haven't had the pleasure yet, then let me explain what it is about. So basically, if you go to the Ministry of the Interior in the Czech Republic to submit any type of application, like extending your visa or applying for a residence permit or extension of your residence permit, applying for a permanent residency, in some cases also if you're changing your address, for example, stuff like that, then there are different application fees. So you need to pay fee for whatever you do at the ministry. And for a couple strange reasons, you cannot use money to pay at the ministry. You cannot use cash, you cannot use card. You always need to bring these stamps. And that's so important that if you come to an appointment and you need those stamps and you don't have them, they might even not deal with you, or they will tell you, okay, go to the post office now. If you're at Chodov, it will be like 1 hour trip, but they will not accept the application because they just don't deal with cash or cards. So what the ministry official, one more thing, where you can get those, you can get them at any post office. Basically, any post office in the Czech Republic sells them. They always have different colors and different like nominal value. This is, for example, 1,000 crowns worth of Kolky. And you have different from 1 crown, 10 crowns, 20 crowns, 50 crowns, 100 crowns, 200 crowns, 500 crowns, 1,000, and that's the highest, I believe, 1,000. So if you, for example, need to get 2,500, like the application fee, you need to get like these two, like 2,000s and 1,500. You could potentially also get it all in 10 crowns, for example, and have like 250 10 crown stamps. But that would not start your appointment well at the ministry, I can assure you. Because what they do with those stamps actually is they lick it or like put it into water or whatever, and then they stick it to the actual application. So if they had to do it, and they have to stamp it as well. So if they had to do it like 250 times, they would hate you. And I can guarantee you the application would be denied like next day. Of course, joking, but it could influence the approach of the ministry. So anyway, the reasons why the ministry still uses these instead of cash or card payments, the ministry says that it's mainly so you could not bribe them. But that seems to be kind of stupid because these can be returned for cash. So if you bought this, for example, and you don't need it because you thought you needed to pay at the ministry, but you didn't, you can return those to the post office and they will give you money back. They will not give you the full amount. I believe they take like 5% commission for like returning it. But still, from like 1,000 crowns collect, you will get like 950 crowns back. So it's still okay. So even if you give this to the person at the ministry, it can be bribe because they can go to a post office and simply exchange it to cash. Plus, this is like way easier to hide, like in a hand, for example, if you're slipping some documents to them, than cash. So that's probably not the main reason or the real reason. My opinion is that it's just easier to deal with this than with cash. Another stupid thing about that is that actually if you buy these, you buy it at the post office, so the money goes to the post office. If you pay that to the ministry, that could go to the budget of the Ministry of the Interior, and they could maybe do something productive with the money, but they don't. Nah, whatever. I guess that the main reason is that they just don't want to deal with cash or the card payments because there are some like costs associated to that. Like for card payments, of course, you have for every payment you need to pay some fee. You need to buy those machines where you can pay. If you have cash, then you need to have special like safes for that, and you need to arrange like pickup of the money. And I guess they would have pretty high amounts of money there during the week. So it would probably cost them more to operate that. And it would also be probably a bit more complicated because they get this, lick it, stick it to your application, that's it. If they were working with cash, they might need to give you some receipt or invoice. They would need to print it. Then there might be problem with the printer, whatever, with the terminal. So I guess it's more about the day-to-day operation, that this is like old school, but it's a very effective way of paying for something, because you just like give it to them, all done. Compared to other payment options, it's way easier, and I guess cheaper as well. Question is, of course, but that's not question for me or you, if the amount of work and amount of money they would need to pay to arrange the cash payments or the card payments, if it would be so high that it would not make sense like to get all this revenue from those. I don't think that's the case, and it would be probably good for the ministry to get the money transferred to their account instead of Czech post office bank account, but that's for other people to decide. Like from the daily perspective, this is just easy way to deal with payments. So just be careful when you go to the ministry, you know that you need to pay something, you will pay by this. The only thing which you pay in cash is if you get fined. If you, for example, go there and you haven't reported changes to the ministry, like change of your passport, change of your address, change of your marital status, then you need to pay some fine, usually up to 3,000 crowns for every change you didn't report. So that is paid in cash. If you want to prevent this from happening, like reporting things late and having to pay a fine, check this video where I explain everything about the changes at the Ministry of the Interior. So guys, thank you very much for watching. See you again on Monday, Thursday, until the end of the world. See you. Bye-bye, guys. Wait. And now is the weird moment where you don't see me and you still hear me. Okay, thank you, guys. Bye-bye. It's going on here. Bye-bye.